Call to order the City Council meeting for City of East Grand Forks, Tuesday, November 20th, 2018 is now 5 o'clock. City Clerk, please call roll.
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Council President Mark Halstead.
Here.
Council Vice President Chad Grassel.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Mike Pakshavinsky.
Here.
Tim Riopel.
Here.
Henry Tweeten.
Here.
Mark Demers.
Does term quorum, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be referred to staff, boards, or commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. If you'd like to address City Council, please come up to the podium to do so at this time. I see none. Approval of minutes for the November 6th regular meeting.
Move.
Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Pakshavinsky. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Tweeten.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes. Motion is carried. Scheduled bid lettings, none. Scheduled public hearings, none. Consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action if they choose. Any council members like any items pulled, 2 through 5, excuse me. Do you want to pull one?
No. Good.
Okay.
Approval.
By Vetter, second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? I see none. Mr. Chief Hedlund.
Thank you. Reference the MOU between our department, Crookston PD, and the Sheriff's Department. Mr. Demers had some questions last week about the quarterly meetings. I just wanted to comment about that. I did speak to both Chief Biermeyer and Sheriff Erdman, and basically the theory behind it is one of those two parties would be a technical expert, typically probably one of our admin staff members that works with the system on a regular basis. The second person would be someone with decision-making authority should we need to take any further steps as far as additional maintenance fees or something along those lines. That second person probably would not need to go to the majority of those meetings. If we knew what the agenda was and there was a chance of that, we would probably have that person attend. That would typically be either myself or Lieutenant Hyjak. I think the majority of the time it will probably be just 3 members that are looking at the day-to-day activities and issues that have come up.
None. Roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Tweeten.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes. Motion is carried. Acknowledge the receipt of reports of officers, boards, and commissions. Number 6, regular meeting minutes of Water, Light, Power, and Building Commission for October 18th, 2018, and for November 1st, 2018. Communication, there's none. Old business, there's none. New business, request for pump replacement. This item has been pulled, so just for your knowledge. Number 8, we consider authorizing staff to sign the commitment letter to confirming local funds are committed for the Red Lake Corridor projects and submit to the Greater Minnesota Parks and Trails Commission.
Move.
Moved by Pakshavinsky.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? I see none. Roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Tweeten.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes. Motion is carried. Number 9, consider approving the $100,000 builder incentive program to expand and include all city-owned lots.
Move.
Moved by Pakshavinsky.
Second.
Second by Grassel. All in favor say, excuse me, any questions? Roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Tweeten.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes, motion is carried. Number 10, consider approving the hiring of Alyssa Hammond as Administrative Assistant Dispatcher Jailer starting at grade 9, step 3.
Move.
Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Any questions or discussion? I see none. Roll call, please.
Grassel.
Yes.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Tweeten.
Yes.
Olstead.
Yes, motion is carried. Consider approving the hiring of Ethan Muschitz as police officer starting at grade 14, step 1. Moved by Vetter.
Second.
Second by Grassel. Any questions or discussion? See none, roll call, please.
Brassel,
Yes.
Better, Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Wheaton,
yes,
Olsted.
Yes, motion is carried. Claims, consider authorizing the city administrator clerk treasurer to issue payment of recommended bills and payroll.
Move.
Moved by Grassel,
Second.
second by Riepel. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Brassel,
Yes.
Better,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Wheaton,
yes.
Olsted.
Yes, motion is carried. Mayor Gander.
Last week, Reed Hutton and the Parks and Rec and I met with representatives of the Greater Grand Forks Convention and Visitors Bureau, which, as you know, that agency serves both sides of the river in everything that gets to tourism and also special promotions for communities and events. And they had kind of almost a casual contact with Explore Minnesota Tourism and the DNR, and almost in a casual conversation started talking about getting the governor's fishing opener, the Minnesota governor's fishing opener, here in some year coming up. And so they wanted to meet with us to talk about this. And it sounds like there's a great amount of interest inside the Explore Minnesota folks for having it. It would be in the spring of the year 2021. So it's still a little ways out. Of course, they move this around the state. It's a really big deal. Every time it happens, they bring in state and national media to cover it. It would be an opportunity for us to do some things in our greenway, such as whether it's the boat ramp or other areas down there to gather, to do things that we've been wanting to do for a while in preparation for this event. I think I would like to invite them, as I've thought about it, Reed, to a work session. Because this will, technically, I would think it would involve almost every one of our departments inside the city, and it would involve a lot of the other organizations that we partner with, as for the Greenway, as for the private sector, some of the hospitality sectors, from a point of lodging to food to everything that you can think of. And they want to have a site visit actually on the 29th of May of 19. So this coming May, they want to build up to a site visit. That would be one of the early steps. Then it would be November of next year that our formal application would be due. And it would be a commitment on the part of the city. The budget is large, but they also have a fundraising element that goes with it. And many of the sponsors actually travel with the event. So a lot of the dollars would be from statewide sponsors that say this year it goes here, this year it goes there. And it was pretty exciting, actually, to think of what could happen. And, of course, the DNR is tight with this. It's Explore Minnesota Tourism and the DNR, along with the local group of whomever it might be that would be the local sponsor of it. It would be really cool to have that event here in that year. Reed, anything that you want to add coming out of that meeting?
I don't think so. I think you hit it. That's what the only thing I was going to bring up is it'd be good to put on work sessions so we can talk about that and future improvements.
Yeah, it would even tie into things that could happen in our campground. We've talked about maybe working with the DNR to put some camping cabins in there. That could maybe be connected to this. Camping cabins, as many of you know, they have them here and there in their state park system, and they're among the first to fill up. The demand for the camping cabins, if we have areas inside the site of our campground that could handle these, those would be very, very popular for people coming into camp. They'd fill out way ahead of any of the other sites in the campground. So it's kind of a neat thing if all of that could be brought together toward this fishing opener. Otherwise, last week was kind of a busy week for lots of extra meetings for me. I want to thank everybody. I met with the police. I met with different other groups last week. Tonight after this, I'll go over the UND exchange students that come into our area. They're having a special gathering for them at the townhouse right after this. So it fills up the schedule, but it's fun. Actually, do enjoy it. So thanks for letting me represent the city at these things. That's all I got.
Mr. Bitter.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Mr. Paczynski. Mr. Riepel.
I just want to say thank you to Judy at the Senior Center. We had our Thanksgiving dinner there last Thursday evening, and we served 79 meals at that, which is almost a record for that right now. So her and her crew did a wonderful job. Right, Reed? That's it.
Sweden.
I'd like to make a comment in regard to the administration in the future in the state. I had the administrative office here give you a printout of the Fargo Forum that listed all of the people in the transition team. One of the things that will happen, I believe it will be to the benefit of the people of the state of Minnesota, the transition will be much smoother. There are a number of people named in that transition team that are Republicans, well-known Republicans. A lot of them have had some substantial jobs in government and other things and in the business world. Unfortunately, last legislative session, there got to be a garbage bill that took out a lot of good items. Actually, if you read the statutes and the law, those sort of bills are really supposed to be no-nos. But I think it's going to be much smoother. It's important for us. We have a number of things that are important to our city and the community. I've told the people on the council, some of the people that normally will appear to legislative day down there, even though I'm off the council, there'll be many people in the legislature and the governor's office. I'll have close connections in both of them, and as long as I can help the city, I'll keep doing it. I've been involved in every major event in this city since the summer of 1953. And I believe I've had more government service than any person that's ever served in the city of East Grand Forks. But I think that we'll end up with this legislative session being in a much better position than we've been in the past. Regardless of what happens, there's always something that's important to a city of our size. One of the things I think is extremely important, Chief, on drugs. That bill will be separate, and they're not going to waste time on it. I'm sure that drug force is going to have adequate funds. And the other thing that I've suggested is we have the governor-elect come up here relative to the bridge matter on 32nd and hope to expedite it. He indicates that he's interested in highways and bridges. This is a good place for him to start. And outside of that, why, he mentioned turkey. Everybody eat all they can. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Nothing tonight.
I wonder if it would be the same optimistic outlook if a Republican would have won the governorship this last November. And also look forward to gas tax. There you go. I have nothing else for tonight. Mr. Murphy.
I just have two things real quick. The first one is Councilmember Demers did get a hold of me, did let me know that he would not be able to be here tonight. He did have an event that he did have to go to tonight that had come up, and he will also be gone tomorrow. So he wanted me to make sure that I let any of the council members know that the MPO meeting is tomorrow. He thinks it would be very beneficial. So if anybody would like to go in his place, to contact the MPO and let them know, and you can be there. The other thing I was going to say is that last week we had the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities get together down in Alexandria, Minnesota. It was informative on a couple of different things. The first one is that regarding LGA, they did have some legislators there and the lobbyists, and they are much more optimistic about the potential for LGA being funded to a greater level this next year than they have been in the past. With Governor-elect Walz, he's from outstate Minnesota and has seen how the reduction in LGA has affected where he lives, and so he is on record saying that he would like to see it increased by at least $30.5 million. And with that being said as well, they are optimistic that the legislation will be able to get passed for us this year that would change how our LGA is calculated, so that we would not be losing it every year. They would change, just for us specifically, the age of housing that would be included. So that was very good to hear. So that's all I have.
Mr. Gulstead.
Nothing unless there's questions for me, just to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Mr. Emery.
I have nothing either. And again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Anything from the department heads tonight? Not, entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Riepel. Second by Vetter. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned.